Welcome, welcome everyone. Hola, hola. From Rhode Island. Hi. Rhode Island's in the house. Where are you connecting from? Roger and the rest. Everyone. Hi, my name is Carla Salinas and we're about to start. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if you can see it. Because as usual, when we are live is when mistakes happen and things like that. So I hope that we have a nice presentation today. Hey, it's Elle, Bay Area. Hi. Hi, Natalie from Charlotte. Hi, Eduardo. Hi, Rachel from Ohio. Nice. We have people from different beautiful states. I love it. From Philly. Hola, Camila. Okay, perfect. Well, guess what? I'm connecting from a farther location. I'm in Mexico. Ooh. How many people here is from Mexican roots or from Mexican directly? Okay. Well, so my name is Carla Salinas. I'm a psychologist and I have been in tech like for the last 15 years of my career. And it's been a crazy journey because I have been a woman, Mexican, Latina, working in tech, uh, and I've seen so many different changes in the industry, not only on technology and innovation, but also, of course, working in HR and working in big corporations, startups, remotely from other countries. I have seen so many things that go around diversity, inclusion, exclusion, unfortunately, too. And well, also the new tools that we have seen in the market. So today we're going to talk about AI ethics for Latine, a pathway to an inclusive, sustainable tech future. Thank you so much to Techqueria friends for inviting me. And well, let's start it. Okay. If you have any questions, you can start typing them down. I'm going to read them at the end, and let's talk about these because actually, um, I don't like to say that I'm an expert. It's more like I've been around and I've read a lot and I have been working with a lot of experts. And today, what I'm bringing you is the things that I've seen in the market trends. Okay, so first of all, I work for Codedland. Codedland is a software community that I have with my co-founder Eduardo, and what we do here is that we empower the tech development in Ibero-American region um, through through knowledge sharing. What does this mean? That we try to share the knowledge that we have because we have a lot of experts in our community, and we try to bring the technology to those countries of Iberoamerica that may not be able to have all full access because unfortunately they say that technology is for everyone, but it's not for everyone, like, to be honest. Right? There are countries that don't have access to to a full software of AI, or that maybe because of politics or many other things, they cannot log in some services and stuff like that. So that is really hurtful. But well, in Codedland, we try to make technology for everyone. So we're going to talk about also AI ethics. What are the industries? What is crucial for technology today, and most of all for the Latin community? And how can we, as professionals working in tech, we can do something about our social universe of technology? Because we are the ones who need to be there on the definition of AI. I mean, nothing is written on stone. So I hope we can all be on board of it. Okay. So this is a definition. If you, as AI has been around since the 80s. Like, it's not something new. But what is new is that today, um, we are being able to have software development that makes it uh, more accessible for everyone, right? If you have a tablet, if you have your phone, if you have your computer, and if you have some internet, you can connect and you can start talking about, I don't know, maybe some people writes down things with ChatGPT, with Gemini, and other texts like that, which, by the way, those are like the smallest portion of AI that it's around there. So you will see a lot of definitions. This is one that I found that I think it's more complete. And it says that AI ethics refer to the principles that govern AI's behavior in terms of human values. This is something very important because, uh, social media and if you get in the internet, it's a scary place because you wake up and you have your cup of coffee and you're like, oh, let me see what's there. And suddenly you're like, oh, AI is taking your jobs. And you're like, no. And they're stealing your pictures and creating videos of you doing nasty things. It's suddenly it's so crazy. But at the same time, a lot of the cool things that we can do and we can boost our processes for work, for education, the people here who may have kids, I don't know, they may agree on how AI can also help you to see even what food are you going to prepare, for instance, for today, right? So the thing is that AI should be serving humanity, but what circle of humanity, so that's what we're going to discuss today. Okay, so what are the core principles of AI? It depends on which side of the world you are sitting on. Like, to be honest, for instance, if you go to Europe and you review the guidelines and how they are using AI, they already have some structures and guidelines that you need to use to create software, to use the software. Uh, for instance, if you upload a video on YouTube or an Instagram reel, now they ask you if you are using AI for the content, if this is a real person, things like that, right? So, but if you're sitting on certain countries in America, but in the South, you cannot access to certain tools that you may need for your work, right? I don't know whom else here works remotely for different companies, but well, I worked in a remote company, and it's crazy because they ask you to uh, access to certain tools, and you could be working in the beach like, oh, I'm so happy doing remote work, but boom, you cannot use a certain technology because you are not in the country, and because a lot of regulations that are protecting who, right? So I don't know, it's like a very gray area. I think, and I would invite you to talk and discuss a lot about this, because it's the kind of things that maybe we don't think about it, or we don't give it a second thought. So some of the core principles is human well-being and dignity. The use of AI should be to make our lives as humanity, not only the people from certain countries or the people from certain economy, to be able to have this well-being, but all of us, like to boost our different communities in the world. Okay, human oversight. Well, there these AI technologies that we are seeing today, they are very new, like very new. I like to think of them as the tools that are coming out are like babies in diapers, and we're asking them to be completely emotional, mature, right? So there always have to be a human in the loop, who's checking and oversighting all the creations that we have. Also, addressing bias and discrimination. This is something very important because it happens worldwide. Like, I'm going to discuss right now some of those examples, but bias is um, making decisions on someone or some communities just because of their traits of color, skin, of culture, of beliefs like religion beliefs, political beliefs, etc. Right? So we also need to address that on AI ethics, transparency and explainability. um, you see how you download some tools and you're like, oh, they give you the, you're using this tool because of this, and do you accept this, blah, blah, blah. And let's be honest, how many people here just click yes, yes, next, yes, yes, next, and that's it, right? I've done it. I don't do it anymore, by the way, but I've done it. And sometimes people, yeah, I know, right? People do it also because maybe as simple as this, because the font size was very small, or because the color of the font, it's too difficult to read or too long to be read. So we just click next, 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 and suddenly all our information can be used in ways that we don't know. So that's not transparency, and they are not being able to explain to the audience that who they are offering their services, right? So that is not nice. Don't do that, guys. Transparency and explainability, I already said that. Upholding data privacy and protection. How are they going to protect my information? I mean, we're talking in media, in social media and internet and everywhere, a lot about the importance of this, because now I was listening to the Tanda's conversation. I love that, by the way. And she was saying that her mom, when she used to make tandas, she used to hide the money in a physical place in their house. And if you are Latino and you have a Latina mom, I have a Mexican mom, maybe a lot of you have or saw your mom having all your information, like your birth certificate, the school records, the medical documents under the mattress. I don't know who had that, but I had it. And in Latin America, it's like very common. Uh, well, imagine that someone steals that. Well, now they can do that on the internet, right? Like, it's scary. Like, you don't know if you're using your application in a coffee shop and suddenly someone is using a malware or an AI tool. I mean, it's crazy. So, of course, that is something that can steal your sleep in a night. But that's why we need to be careful on AI ethics on the use of this. Also, promoting inclusivity and diversity. Definitely, yes, that's something that needs to be done, because it needs to well, this principal core emphasizes the fact that maybe some people, because today we have people of different generations, for instance, working in the same workplace. You know, you have centennials, you have millennials, you have exennials, you have x, you have baby boomers, and maybe they are not as tech savvy as some others, right? But this wouldn't have to be a big issue when we are sharing AI. I mean, it's a big challenge, but we should build software to help people to be able to use it, not to take advantage of certain circles to use it or sell more. Okay. Well, that's my opinion, of course, in my opinion. Enhancing digital skills and literacy. For instance, there's a lot of debates on people using AI to create papers, people using AI to read books, and not read all the books, but just like the important portions of it. There's people who is using these to even make their processes at work faster and have more hours. In my opinion, I would say, well, why not? Technology at the end of the day is to make the life of humans easier. So when you're not abusing it, but you're using it for good, to have more time, to have a better quality of life, I mean, why not? I mean, that's just my opinion. Okay. Also, well, the health of business. Yes, we live in a world where business need to make money, where we as workers, we sell our capabilities to help these companies to create what they are doing. But if it's a win-win situation, I don't see the problem in that. Unfortunately, many companies are not that way. And the new tools that are coming in certain companies that may are not very aware of what the technology does, maybe they are not using it today for the right purposes. Like instead of um, adding a software for you to be able to work remotely because you're using the computer, you don't need to be physically in the office. And maybe you are a mom, or maybe you are just a guy who loves your cats or loves your dogs or loves to work out, and you deliver your work well, but then they add you a software of AI that is just checking on you, and it's kind of like a little camera oversighting every step that you make, and if you're doing the right hours or if you're doing less hours or less minutes. I mean, it creates a very unhealthy environment for every company, right? So if we had some questions, I don't know if you ever heard of these cases. You can Google this and you're going to find out a lot of information on what are the challenges of AI, of the use of AI, and how these core principles sometimes are completely broken. For instance, in the US, we have seen many cases where the AI, maybe the facial recognition has done some stuff, some stuff about not recognizing the people correctly, or making some bias about, for instance, the healthcare. In this case that I'm posting here, in October, they say that the U.S. hospitals were checking that a certain circle of people was having a better healthcare than others because of how the systems were checking on them, right? For instance, in Amazon also, the hiring tools that they applied a little bit to make some recruitment started to uh, select more male or things like that, because the data that they used to create these AI tools was so old that 10 years ago, we didn't have the same people that we had in the past. I'm talking for specific women in the workforce, right? So there's a lot of discrimination cases, a lot of bias cases when we're using AI, and that is happening today. So maybe these are the cases that makes us feel a little bit scared of the use of AI, deep fakes, people stealing your identity and other stuff. But in my opinion, I think that right now we are in the creation of something. And when you are in the creation of something, if you are there to see how the cake is done, you're going to be able to select the ingredients that you want, right? So one of the things that I think might be impacting AI ethics is that in the table where the conversations are driven about the use of AI, we don't have diversity. And not all of the people that should be there are sitting there. And sometimes we are so used to not being on that table of creating and making the conversations and making the decisions that we are like, okay, I'm just going to be here, and I'm going I'm very busy trying to survive, so I'm going to keep doing this. So maybe pushing ourselves to be there and be where the innovation is happening is going to help a lot on these kind of challenges. So I don't know, the people of the audience, if you want to write down what other challenges you see on AI when we are not using or we are not applying certain ethics as Latinos. What other problems have you seen? Algorithm bias, data privacy concerns that we already discussed, the lack of representation. That is something that me as a Mexican Latina women in tech, oh my God, I really see it all the time. Yeah, that's what I spoke last year. Yes, Kim. Hey, Camila. Hey, everyone. Um, Definitely, the lack of representation is impacting a lot on the definition of AI ethics. I invite you folks to take a look on the different guidelines that there are already in the internet. For instance, in Europe, for instance, in Asia, some organizations from the ONU and others that have these, let's say, guidelines of AI ethics. And I invite you to read them and to take a deeper thought on what they're trying to say. And are they really using it for humanity, like in general, or just for certain economic circles? I don't know. That's something that I always I can't take that off my mind, because I see the impact as a recruiter when they ask me for people to work. When they ask me for developers, I see all the discrimination on the innovation is going for the circle, and the maintenance is for this circle. And that's where I start to see this lack of representation on those circles. Okay. They say here, algorithm bias is firing tools. Ah, se me movió. I speak a little Spanglish, by the way, so, but I know I'm in the casa, so that's okay. Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, guys, if you read the chat, we have a lot of cases. I'm going to be reading them. Um, I've been seeing a lot of AI generated images, even videos that are being taken as real. Yeah, and that's because they are not the people who is creating them, because now there are some applications that they ask you like as a disclosure to upload your information, to click on yes, I am using a fake image or something created with AI. People don't select that. That's on the human side. So it's crazy, because most of the errors or the bias of the racism or whatever we're seeing, or problems we're seeing on AI, they come from humans that are not clicking the right things, or they are. You cannot think that an application is being machista, that it's only I don't know, it's not in favor of women, or is making discrimination of gender or other things, if um, there's not a single woman in the team who was developing that software, right? So it is crazy. Okay, perfect. So what should we do? I mean, this is just my thoughts. I don't know what you think, guys, but building an inclusive and ethical AI for a better future, and I would say a better future like today, later today, and the next months to follow, is community involvement. As Latinos, maybe not all of the people who is interested I mean, who has access to AI tools, to software development, or to HR jobs, marketing, digital, and other things. If you are already using AI, I think that it would be cool and it wouldn't hurt to share that with other people, and to raise your hand and say, hey, in my work, I know we're not using this, but I found this tool and I think it would improve our processes. And I'm already took a training lesson about it, and I would like to share with the team, because if you bring AI to your processes, you are helping to improve the se me fue la palabra. You're going to make a better tool, okay? You are going to start training the model in a better way, so it makes it has a better performance, right? Instead of not using it, which is what a lot of people who is scared of these tools are doing. No, don't do that. Keep using it. Keep fighting to learn more about AI, to see what are the good things that you can grab from using it, and invite your teams to do it. And if you're from any community, but of course today we are here, Latinos in the Casa, you need to share that with our community. So there's more people that is more diverse in the teams, and the creation and definitions of the using of AI, and of course the ethics, it's more realistic. Okay, successful initiatives, that goes with what I just said, and sharing is caring. Definitely, definitely. For instance, in Cotitlan, what we do is we offer training courses to people who is using technology, and maybe for coding they are using Copilot, but they have never used, I don't know, other models that will test what you're doing on Copilot. Or maybe you are trying to learn how to code in a new technology when there are like 5 tools that with some simple clicks you can already start working with that. So that would be cool to share that. And well, frameworks for ethical AI. I think this is very important because uh, who is writing the frameworks that we have today, right? This is like, we had a joke when I used to work in corporates that the saying was like, quien hace la minuta es quien gana, no? The one who makes the summary of the meeting is the one who has the power, because is the one who's taking notes, who is going to write down in the summary of the meeting and the key points and action items, etc., their version of what happened and what who needs to give what. And if no one read it, if no one said yes I agree, or I heard something different, or I remember it differently, that's it, that's written, and that's what you have to deliver, right? So in the frameworks that we have today, I invite you to ask you to yourselves, how many diverse teams have you heard that are part of the creation and definition of the AI ethics guidelines that you can find today in the market? And I'm pretty sure I don't know anyone, and I work in this industry, so I think if you know someone, please join them and keep doing it. Okay. Well, and these are some of the questions that we've been asking so far about the problems, or the situations that you already had experienced by the use of the not proper use of AI, and how the ethics impacted you. No, so yeah, I'm going to read a little bit of the comments that I have here, and they are talking about Camila, who has been discussing for a while about 10 years where social media and search engines were using user data to make profit. Yes, that's something that it's happening. And a lot of people keeps clicking and clicking and say yes to everything, and they don't read what is going on. You are using data for modeling and generative BI projects. That's great, and we keep using it, because that's what we need. We need Latinos using the tools, to understand the tools, and to be able to raise your hand and say, you know what, eso no me gusta, okay? And well, I have other comments here. So I wish we could have like 3 hours, because I want to talk with all of you about this. I'm pretty sure we could have a very nice cup of coffee while we talk about this. So what are the things that I believe are important to be able to build a realistic AI ethic in this era? So joining organizations and communities to promote the use of AI, but also being there. Like I cannot emphasize as much as I want that we need to be there where the party is going on, okay? Define and review and raise your voice for transparency and fairness in your workplace. That's very important. I'm a recruiter for some companies when I'm doing HR, and I've seen that there's a lot of misunderstandings and misconceptions on what the AI is going to do. And I've seen so many people that it's amazing, that I think they are the greatest assets for a company, and they were not selected because we applied an AI tool, and I don't know, maybe the guy that they forgot their glasses, or the person is neurodivergent and got overwhelmed with so many screens that had to select the information to finalize a test, and you're out of the process. So to be able to be there and to say, hey, I'm not sure if we should keep doing this, or maybe we need to think a little bit the use of this or X tool, etc. Uh, if we are not there, no good changes are going to happen, not only for the Latin community, but for humanity in general. Define and be vigilant of AI policies that protect marginalized communities. And well, let's take care of the roots of our civilizations. Um, I live in Mexico, and I've seen so many scams, so many people that have lost maybe all their savings just because of the use of AI being applied to them and taking advantage of maybe that they are not super tech savvy and things like that. That it's really sad, because instead of using AI to create better opportunities for these people, to make, I don't know, medical advancements and things like that, people is not using it for the right purposes. And sometimes it's not even people, it's companies, huge companies. And this is because we are forgetting that technology must serve humanity, not the other way around. Okay. Um, well, so as a Latina, we hold the power to shape the future of AI. Believe it or not, you sitting there in your house, you can do a lot to protect humanity by using AI, learning how to use it, and being there to create the definitions on what is the right way to use it. And well, let's advocate for transparency, accountability, and inclusion in an AI development. Okay. So, this was me, Carla Salinas. Thank you so much for your time. I know if I read all the comments, I know that we have a lot of materials to keep talking about these. In Cotitlan, we have a podcast, and actually, if any of you guys would like to come and be guests on the podcast and talk about AI, about technology, about diversity and equality, please, you are welcome. And thank you so much for being here today. Thank you, Techqueria, hermanos, amigas y todos presentes. Que tengan un excelente día. Have a great day today.